Hey guys. What's
Let's go. Hello. Let me mute my stream so I'm not echoing and everything. But hello. We're gonna play some fucking D&D today, guys. Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Can you turn yourself up just a bit, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you for the resubs, guys. We'll try and call them out as when we play D&D. The resub callouts are usually in chat. Everybody who is watching right now and playing are going to be in the same chat. So all the players are going to be talking in chat. We have a wonderful viewership enough that doesn't like get crazy, and we can turn on slow mode if we need to, so that we can all have like conversations and talk about what happens in the game. Usually it works out. It's pretty fucking cool. It's crazy how much this stream has grown as a D&D stream. But we are on episode 26 of D&D today. What's up, Sylvie? And we are going to be, let's see, I am in the middle of an anime battle. I am in the middle of I would say the ending of episode 4 of like a 10-episode fight. With the end where we've rested, we've Naruto jumped onto the trees, and we've rested, and we've exchanged we're not so different, you and I's. And then we're gonna finish the fight. I will say that my character, Harlow, is not a fighter. He is more of a manipulator. So it's very difficult for him to fight against this guy who is a career like champion fighter, who's also very young, and it's somebody that Harlow physically and mentally tortured in the past. So it's gonna be a bit of a hard fight.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little hard. But everybody else is having a great time. They're learning things about each other, and it's fun. He's a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, exactly. He cast slow on the vision of his wife so that he could see her for a little bit longer. Oh, that was heart-wrenching. That was 2 episodes ago. Damn.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
I teared up.
Yeah, I teared up a little bit too. Yeah, I cast slow to see my wife through the whale's eyes one last time. Damn. Anyway, I'm gonna go punch a kid.
All right, I'll see you over there. Bye.
All right, let's go punch a kid. Let's go punch kids. Woo!
Well, bring
Let's
his dogs
punch kids.
We're gonna punch a kid.
Are we live?
Hi.
Are we live?
Why are we punching children?
I think we're live.
Don't
Why is there a
punch
goat
me.
why is there a goat in the Discord channel?
That's
A sheep.
Hello and welcome to tonight's episode
You
of Pirate
fucking
Trouble.
moron!
It's a
Our
sheep.
pirate themed.
That's a sheep,
I'm just gonna keep talking. One Piece inspired D&D campaign. My name is Ruben, your DM for the evening. In just a few minutes, we'll hop into episode 28 of the campaign. If you weren't here last episode, or if it's your first time joining us, a recap is available in the chat. As always, let me offer our special thanks to the folks who made tonight's game possible. For the art, Julian Rush and Vieira. The map illustrator is Sezi Peku. And for the stream, Moo Crush, Nathaniel, and Jonah. The music theme you're hearing now is a new creation by Isaac. Is that it?
Isaac.
Thank you so much to Isaac for this lovely theme that we will definitely be playing. We're
Yeah.
it's so good.
Right-click loop.
Tonight's warm-up question for the players. What is your character's useless talent? What is your
man, here we
character's
go.
useless talent? Let's start with Myrtle, played by Nathaniel.
He can go into his shell.
Oh, that is kind of fun.
It is fun, but I've used it like one time throughout the entire campaign.
That's
So
at least
far,
theoretically useful.
it's theoretically useful, especially once I start using tank builds. But for now, it's not been useful.
Next up, let's do Marini, played by Riley.
Her useless talent is that she can do fishtail braids real good, real fast.
What's a fishtail braid?
Yeah.
The shit,
that
it's like a bunch of
Bitch, it's
strands of hair.
2023. You got Google.
Yeah, look it up. She can just
Fishtail
braid hair like really, really fast.
Oh, okay.
It was really
That's kinda cool.
popular in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. That takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but Mariny's like real
Real
good
good.
at it.
Real
good.
She's
Really
so
good at it.
quick.
It's quick-witted. Okay, cool. Nice talent.
Cool. Next up, let's do McCleary, played by Chad.
He can do cartwheels really well.
McCleary can do a cartwheel?
I want to see McCleary do a
Team
cartwheel.
kickflips.
Not only
Make him
that,
do
but
a
you
cartwheel?
sick flips. Yeah.
He can do a sick flip. He can do a really sick flip. You see him off the bow of the ship, sick flip into the ocean. 10
Roll
out
to
of
flip.
10.
Roll to flip.
Should I roll to flip?
Yeah.
Yeah, do roll it now. Acrobatics, go.
Right
It's
now.
so good. It was great.
Sorry, dude.
No, it was
Bad
good though.
flip.
It looked great. See, use this talent. Look, you thought it was amazing.
Next up, let's do Freya, played by Courtney.
Gosh, I tried to think of one. And I can't really think of one. She can color inside the lines really, really well.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, I like that. Lovely. What is Freya's favorite color?
Oh, of course she loves blue and purple, but I think,
Fucking blue, bitch.
yeah, well,
You're all blue.
I think out of those two colors, I feel like purple is her favorite. Like that nice, like lilac-y blue color. Not quite periwinkle, but kind of like a mixture of blue and blurple.
Blurple. I love it.
Blurple. I like that. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
Yeah.
When Reese discovered his new color when he mixed blue and yellow, and it's
Oh my God.
blello.
Yeah, no,
Um,
she likes that nice like lilac-y
Lovely. Next, let's do Harlow, played by Jonah.
Back when everything was fine and dandy and peaceful, and Harlow had a family and children and things like that.
And a wife.
His hobby was bird watching. So he has a near encyclopedic knowledge of normal, everyday avian things, which is why he doesn't ask too many questions about Cetarians.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, follow-up question, how does Marini feel about that? Does she, like, how...
There's
Oh,
like
he's
just
a-
because we
Harlow
have
I'm
watched
watching
birds.
do
you.
bird thing. We
I've seen some
also
birds.
Next
on
date
a whale.
night, gonna go bird watching.
But yeah, he has
Name 100
almost
birds.
encyclopedic knowledge of birds. Just basic birds, nothing crazy like monsters or anything. But just like, oh, that's a finch. That's a that's a pigeon. That's a golden,
Sure.
whatever, golden yellow-bellied sneech or something.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Harlow
Yeah,
is
I
Brennan Lee
bet.
Mulligan.
Yes. I'll name 100 birds.
Dad hobby, says Chad.
What's your bird, Harlow?
Next up, let's do Razim, played by James.
Razim's useless talent. You know how when you go to a museum and you find that one portrait or one of many portraits where the subject is looking straight, but no matter what angle you look at the portrait, it always seems to be looking at you, even though it's
Oh,
clearly
no.
looking straight?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That.
You can do that. You can just do that on command.
That's
Razim can do that.
it's pretty useless. I love it. Next up, let's do Sunny, played by Corey.
Sunny doesn't think any of his talents are useless. He thinks
Hell
they're
yeah.
all useful. But
Wow.
let's go with my party trick is he's double jointed in the hands
Oh, cool.
and he does some wacky shit.
I love it.
He doesn't
Both hands?
I mean, I'm double jointed in both hands. I used to be able to touch the back of my left hand with my left index finger.
That's gonna be
Well.
super useful
Oh,
next
shit,
time you
that's
get
hard.
tortured by Harlow.
Stop. Stop. No.
Do your worst. My hands have already won.
Words I'm double-jointed.
You can't dislocate my fingers more than I already dislocate my own fingers.
Next up, let's do Takai, played by Ryan.
I think Takai's shitty talent is that he can make really crappy shapes with his tail. Like, nothing really intricate. It's just like, it's just like all anime cats. You can like do a square, you can do a circle, you can do a heart, you
I love
can
it.
do a square.
Lovely. Amazing. Incredible. Okay. I think that's everyone. I got everyone.
Did Razim do it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
could
thought you were
stare
gonna
at
say
people.
origami to Kai. I don't know why, but
What's
it's
everyone's
it's
arts and
tail
crafts?
origami.
Woodworking.
Takai couldn't even fucking spell origami.
What would he call it instead?
Does he put an extra E in origami?
God, now you're gonna make me figure out exactly how Takai spells origami.
Mars in the chat said, "Does Takai do a heart tail when he gets a kiss?"
Aww.
I thought of something. I didn't say glass blowing before because it was
Origami.
Yeah,
my
it's like
main
actually a
thing,
thing you do.
But I guess I want to retext your mind to say that making stained glass would be a cute one for him.
Yeah.
Hey. I like that.
No, Mars. He does a heart tail when he's flirting with someone. What happens if he gets a kiss? Because he's slightly soon for people he actually has feelings for. If he gets a kiss, all his tail does is floof up.
Still cute though.
Oh, thank you.
And Takai attack with his tail like strangle someone.
No.
Strangle someone.
Okay.
Not yet.
No, that'll be in the next episode.
Why is
Okay.
the chat so horny?
It's my chat.
Are you new here?
Yeah, are you new here? You know I
Um,
sell porn. Never mind.
Look,
No,
I'm-
don't do that.
I'm on.
I'm gonna send. While we go, I'm gonna send Ruben a saucy picture of Alpha while he
Yes!
DMs.
Oh, shit.
Just
No,
at a random, unexpected time.
You just be like, hey, here you go.
Whoa.
Okay. I think game in the chat. Guess when I actually see this thing. By the reaction that
At some
I
point, you
said.
will see. I will hang dong.
Okay.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
on that lovely note, let us move into the game proper. When last we left our heroes, there was a lot of drama in action last
Yeah.
time. We started off with the beginning and exciting conclusion, at least so we think, of a duel between Harlow and his rival, Jet, who is a young Cetarian. During the course of the battle, Jet's helmet was removed, broken off, and he was revealed to be a young Cetarian. And over the course of the battle, Harlow recognized him as the individual who caused his injuries. Jet has black wings because they were torched at some point. Different from all the other Cetarians in their more angelic cream white color. He also bears some scars. What exactly happened is still unclear, but we do know that Harlow played some part. Harlow, in the midst of the exchange, demanded that there be a conversation, that there be some stop to this, lest they kill each other, and attempted to heal and did heal Jet in the process, winning a temporary trust to conclude the fight for now and meet this issue out. Meanwhile, across the island, Myrtle and Razim were having fun with Salome, one of the crowns of paradise, who was just kind of hanging up here on the Cetarian home island. They chatted about the treasure and Salome's desire that no one actually be able to claim it, and that his boasting that he'd be able to effortlessly dispatch any of the Limelights should they try to interfere in his particular mission. They decided to go and head over to one of his Cetarian friends for a dinner, a nice meal. Elsewhere on the island, Freya and Takai finished up a fairly extended and intense heart-to-heart about their relationship. Takai revealed information about his younger brother named Tafir, and they decided to just kind of enjoy the natural environment here. They met a young Cetarian boy who was enamored with them. They were very unusual to the Cetarians, at least to this young boy, and he led them over to what will be festivities taking place on the island during this very important time of the year where a coming-of-age ceremony begins. Finally, last episode, we left off where Marini and McCleary found, first of all, they notice that the log post, their special compass that allows them to travel the Grand Line in the campaign, has now fully resynced to wherever the next island is on their course. But unfortunately, they can't do anything about it in the short term because a creature has come into their midst in the forest and now is going to attack them. So that is where we left off.
Here we go.
I'm going. So we'll start off first there with Marini and McCleary. And let me move us over to that map.
All right, Chad, let's kill this motherfucker in like 2 rounds.
You are in the middle of a clearing in a grove. There's a massive, as you see in the picture, a massive tree trunk, maybe like 50 or 75, maybe 100 feet wide. Surrounding it is a beautiful lake with various colors of fish, many of whom seem to kind of glow or change colors as they swim peacefully below, undisturbed by whatever is happening above. And as I described previously, the creature that you see, you would typically or potentially mistake it for a hawk. It kind of is in the form of a large bird of prey. But specifically, as you kind of get a closer look at it, it is formed from streaks of colored cloud stuff woven into the silhouette of a large falcon. There are bits of mist that filter off of it, as if it were a living being made of like dry ice. Its talons occasionally spark with blue-yellow hints of lightning. And its eyes remind you, certainly, I think both of you, but particularly Marini, its eyes remind you of the inky blackness of the Allmother, with specks of gold kind of floating throughout. This creature has perched in this spot and is pointed right towards you. Its wings flap and is about to move towards you. Roll initiative.
Well. I cannot select my pod.
Got a 6.
Let me.
Same here.
change- You can't?
Yeah, I can't either.
Oh no, roll 20. Okay,
Oh,
I think
no.
it's a new map. Let me.
This is totally not poggers.
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 How are y'all doing now?
PogChamp.
Oh, check.
Yep, now I'm
yes.
a PogChamp.
Excellent, excellent. Now you're a PogChamp. Okay. I can't believe I just said that out loud.
We're rubbing off on you.
How
What
you
has
do fellow
happened to
kids?
you?
I'm losing my touch. Okay. Let me roll. Ooh, okay.
What is that? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Wow.
What'd you get, Marini?
6. I'm not doing good.
All right.
It's like, ooh, bird!
Bird.
Oh, Bert.
Okay. Let's get started. I almost said Chad. McCleary, action, bonus action movement. What are you doing?
So this, I mean, it looks threatening.
It looks like it's going to fly over and strike you. That's correct.
Okay, I think that just because it's a whole new experience, I'm not gonna immediately attack on the first turn. I think that we're tethered, right? So you have to follow me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna move to like here. And I think he says to Marini, well, that's a strange looking bird thing. Why is it? And then he kind of stops as he gets Sonny's message about the fight of Harlow and Jet. And he looks back at Marin. He's like, well, I just got a really distressing message from Sonny. Something about Harlow and Jet fighting and jumping off a cliff.
Because Jet, why is he fighting people?
I have no idea. I was having such a
God.
lovely time. Look out for the bird thing.
I think Marini has like her
bird
wings
thing.
out. She's trying to look like the bigger bird, like challenge the bird.
Okay.
So I will hold my action. I'd like to hold I guess, an attack with my swords.
Okay. Under what condition?
The bird attacks myself or Marini.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Guess what's gonna happen?
He's going to attack?
No, it's going to attack.
The audacity.
It flaps its wings over and it's going to try and make a attack with its talons. Its talons that are still physical, but they kind of have the essence of cloud and storm in them. This creature is called the Essence of Storms. I'm going to roll its attack.
Can I
Limit to
use
it.
my reaction?
What's your reaction?
I have the protection fighting style.
Go
so
for it.
While
Oh, cool.
while wielding a shield, a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay, and what is, before I roll this, what does this look like? As the two of you are kind of, McCleary pulls you along, the creature tries to strike, is going in for the attack on McCleary's bald scalp. What does this look like as Marini is trying to like distract or divert attention?
I think she takes the rope and like quickly like wraps it around her hand to yank McCleary out of the way from the strike, and then she takes the shield to like shield over their head, but she's ultimately gonna have to throw that shield eventually to get her weapon, so
Sure.
it's a one-time shield before I throw this shit.
Okay, I'll roll with disadvantage. Let me see what the stat is again.
And I'll
Okay.
take my shield off of my armor class.
Yeah, I don't think an 8's going to hit. The talon strikes the shield, ching, and it is deflected in the process. Does it impose disadvantage on 2 attacks or just on the first hit?
Just the first
It
one.
doesn't say, yeah.
It's
Okay.
just one attack.
It is going to try and strike you this time, Marini.
Do it.
That is a 16 to hit.
It just meets.
Okay. You take 6 points of piercing damage as the talons. This time, you are not able to raise the shield quickly enough as it grabs onto part of your face while sinking into your cheek. Bits of blood. What color is Satarian blood? I'll let you decide.
You're the one who made these.
It's
Could be
green.
red as well.
It could be red.
Oh,
It
wait,
could be.
ooh, gold blood. Like, ooh.
Ooh, I like
Ooh.
gold.
Gold blood? So like this like
That's
deep
cool.
yellow amber color?
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
little-
So this,
That's badass.
It
yeah,
is.
so this beautiful, and I think it even has like the same kind of like gold speck kind of texture to it, like the
Like
Allmother's
the
eyes.
whale's eyes.
Exactly,
Whoa.
exactly.
Oh.
And
Dude, like
you
one of those
see,
little jiggly things you get at the aquarium.
Oh no, I don't have my HP here.
Oh yeah, you gotta throw it.
Yeah, let me update that.
Oh, good. And that is its turn. It is still kind of in the air in your immediate vicinity, and it does not look like it's going to be as nice the second time. You held your action though, McCleary, so go for your attack.
Question on that: is that a singular turn apply, or is it only the action that applies?
You
Like a
hold
bonus
the action. You hold the
Okay.
action. So if
Alright.
your action is 2 attacks, you can then hold the 2 attacks.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. I will do that. I think he's yanked by the Marinie's pull and kind of stumbles a bit, but recovers enough where he's able to, get on his feet and try to slice the bird. So I will make a weapon attack
Go for it.
with my cutlass. 21.
Hits, roll damage.
All right, that's gonna be. Sorry, I haven't looked at that in a long time. There we go.
All good.
It's gonna be 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And I would like to use a superiority dice since I hit with a weapon attack to do a trip attack on the bird. So I'm gonna get
Okay.
a strength saving throw from the bird.
The strength saving throw What is the essence of Storm's strength? Okay.
How the fuck do you
And then
trip
a
a bird?
Failed save is not. I clicked his
That's-
wings. I went
that's a-
straight for the wing.
That's a 15.
Okay.
A 15 does not save.
So, what is the mechanical? What is the mechanical?
You're knocked prone.
You swing wide.
So, I think what happens here is I think you get the wing with enough force that it's injured, so it can't fly. So it's actually on the ground now, as opposed to in the air. Because I think the concept of tripping a bird that's like on its side is a little bit silly.
Okay.
Point
Do I
by
still
two.
get advantage on that?
Oh, 100%. The bird is smaller than you and it's on the ground.
Okay, sweet. So my second attack will be with advantage. First, here's a D8 for the maneuver damage. Which is another one. Okay.
Okay.
And now here's my second attack with advantage.
27 hits.
Or yep, 27. Okay. So then that'll be damage. Oh my god! I'm cursed.
Yeah.
Bro, reload your fucking page. Holy shit.
Oh wait, I have one more dice. We'll see if that's a one. Okay, so another 6 damage, and then
Okay.
because Marini is there, my sneak attack will be another d6. Oh, okay.
Reload that fucking page.
What the
What are the
hell?
fucking chances?
God, what the fuck?
I just re-rolled it,
Okay.
or I just reloaded the page rather. What the hell?
That's amazing. So I think the visual here, Marini,
I
is
can't hurt Cloud.
no. I think you're swinging and you are hitting the bird, even though it's on the ground. You're getting bits of the storm feathers kind of forced away from it. But I think maybe your heart's beating fast for another reason, and so your focus is a little bit split at the moment.
I'm not used to fighting to
Damn.
protect someone.
He's
Aw.
Twitter pated.
Dude, this is. I love our characters. I love them so much.
All right.
It's too rizzed to fight.
Next up is Marini. Marini, what you doing?
It's gonna be a bad day to be this fucking bird. I'm about to riz this man up. All right, first attack, and I have advantage, right?
Yes.
Got that one. Probably not. That one. Does that hit?
22 hits, roll damage.
Cool. I have 2 attacks. You want me to just roll the hit for both of
It's
them
up,
now?
you free to, up to you, man.
I'll do that. Okay. Come on, be a good one. Just 15.
Does 15 hit? Yes, 15 does hit.
Nice. Okay, now I'll do the damage. So we got 1d8 plus 4 damage to both of that. A 9 and a 7, and then we're gonna do a divine smite.
9 and 7?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Plus a smite.
We go smote it.
Juice it up.
Hey.
14.
Damn.
And then bonus action, we'll cast Shield of Faith on McCleary for +2 bonus to AC.
Ooh, thanks.
And what does Marini's smite look like?
I think it comes from the sword, and it's just a lot of I feel like gold is Marini's color.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of gold flashes, like a flashbang almost.
Interesting. I love that the Satarian color is gold. That's just it's so fitting for so many reasons. Lovely. There are bits of the bird that are kind of being whisked away as if the attacks are blowing so much wind that its kind of structural stability is fading. It is already pretty hurt. Y'all have inflicted a lot of damage on this spirit bird that is on the ground currently. Okay. Anything else, Marini?
I think that's all I can do so far.
Okay. McCleary.
Right. I redouble my efforts on the grounded bird and try to slice it up again.
Go for it.
And it's still prone, correct?
It
Or
hasn't
grounded.
moved.
Advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
So 14?
14 just hits.
Okay, that's first attack. I'm just going to roll my second one too. To see if I get a crit. So, okay, 14, 27. Both hit.
Correct.
All right, here's first attack's damage. 8.
8.
Second attack damage. 11.
Oh, there we go. There's some good
Nice.
rolls now.
And then my bonus action, I'll attack with my offhand weapon, my dirk.
Okay.
So that's going to be 22 to hit.
Hits, roll damage.
7.
7 points of damage.
Yes.
Cool.
And then finally sneak attack.
Goodness.
Another
Action
5.
economy.
Excellent. Cool.
Just chopping that fucking bird off.
Yeah, y'all are seriously hurting the spirit bird. Anything else, McClary?
No, that is it.
Okay. Next up, it is the Essence's turn. It is going to use its lightning squall. You see it begin to flap back up to about 15-20 feet in the air. Still within your range to hit, so it's not an opportunity attack. But you see the talons that were formerly kind of more solidified and that, struck both of you, they now kind of turn into just wisps of smoke and cloud. And those clouds grow and grow until it is a miniaturized thunderstorm. This thunderstorm is then pushed towards you. I need you both to make a Constitution saving throw.
You got a +2.
Oh yeah, your aura. Nice. Aura.
The Aurora. That's fine. It's
22 saves.
Come on, save.
20.
Save. Yes.
20 saves.
Oh.
So y'all will take half damage. Grab the dice for this. I'm gonna roll this old style. Y'all will take half of this, so give me 1 second to count the 8 pieces of dice here.
8 dice.
Mm-hmm. You take 26 divided by 2, so 13. 13 points of lightning damage as the storm of pure lightning passes over you, shocking you at close range, as if you'd just been zapped directly by the clouds themselves. It will also make its second attack as a wing talon attack, which will be to Marini. The talons reform, and it's going to try to strike you across the chest. That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay.
Not the Mertilius.
That is. Jesus.
One right for
That
the
is-
city.
That is 10 points of piercing damage as the talons swipe. Gender be damned. It is going to. Yeah. So at the end of its turn, now that it's struck both of you, it begins to flap its wings more aggressively. The wings begin to give off bits of smoke and storm.
My wings back.
Small.
Aggressively.
A small vortex begins to form around the elemental creature. For the next minute, the area within 20 feet of the essence is difficult terrain. So if you were to move, you'd be moving at half speed.
Okay.
With that said, this essence, this elemental, is in a rough spot. Next up, we have Marini.
He's about to be in a rougher spot. Okay, let's do this attack again. Oh wait, it's not a
It's not an
advantage anymore.
advantage. No.
Fuck. Okay, well, I got a 26,
Hits.
so at least that's one attack. I'll roll damage on.
Are you using your fire sword, the great sword?
No, because it's a two-handed, and I
Okay,
don't have
yeah.
two hands available here.
Right. You still have the shield. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 10, and then let's do another Divine Smite. Do I get extra to Divine Smite? I'm just checking on this before I...
Yeah, if
Roll
you
it.
depending on the spell slot you use, you should get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm using the highest spell slot I have. 18.
Hey, damn.
And okay, 18. It is yeah. Anything else, Marini?
That is... Oh, well, let's see what I have in bonus actions. I have nothing... Oh, wait. I get the action economy. Let's do Vow of Enmity as a bonus action. As a bonus action, you can choose a creature you can see within 10 feet of you and gain advantage on attack rolls against it for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 HP.
Okay.
So, bonus action that.
You squint your eyes at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're fighting on a bird level now.
And when you stare at this thing, you're getting the All-Mother's eyes right back to you. Anything else, Marini?
She would understand. That'd be all.
McCleary.
All right. I think in the difficulty of them like bobbing and weaving between each other with this rope and the bird, I'm gonna make another attack.
Go for it.
So first attack, 18.
Hits, roll damage.
I'm just gonna do all three of them. Second attack, 13,
Does not hit.
and then offhand attack, 15.
Hits.
Okay, so here's my first attack damage. 9.
Okay.
My offhand.
Just give me the total. I'm sure you got it.
Okay, sure. I just need to find where the hell I put that. So, okay. And then sneak attack. So, 21.
Okay. McCleary, how do you want to kill this bird?
Oh my god.
He,
Yeah.
I
Die,
wanna
damn
say-
you.
that he's working with Marini, and they sort of find their groove and like this ebb and flow of pulling between each other with the rope, and like ducking under her swing of her sword and then coming up, and he just sort of slices into it like 1, 2, 3 with his blades, and as he does so, he sort of makes like an X pattern that spreads out just a storm cloud and like the mist of the bird, like a gust of wind, and then he turns back to look at Marini, his blades like gleaming off of the light of the woods, or the like water, I guess, reflections.
The
Just gonna
moment
give it to you.
Johnny
Be
Crossbones.
impressed.
the moment after the sort of cuts through and it's the essence fades as if it was never there, back into just basic air, as if the dry ice is now gone. Both of you get brief flashes of imagery before your eyes. McCleary, for a moment, you see almost like where the creature was floating or flying. You see Monty's face. You see the face of members of your crew, just kind of briefly flash as if they were kind of watercolor shadows, just for an instant. Marini, you see quick movement between two figures, kind of passing through this space as if they were fighting across the tree trunk here. You recognize not the figure who is fighting the other one, but the figure that is right in front of you, just from behind. Then I think both of you see something that isn't just in the space in front of you. It isn't just a sort of hallucination in this physical location. Your vision goes dark for a moment, and you feel kind of the latent energy of the thunder and lightning that went over you during the Essence's attacks, the Elementals' attacks. And you get an image of something else entirely. It's a figure, tall, handsome, pale skin, surrounded by several floating spears. And they're holding a humanoid figure in its hand, aloft by the throat. And then the vision fades, and just as firmly you were on the ground a moment ago, you are still here with no further sign of the storm creature. We are out of initiative.
I think Merity like wipes the blood off of her face, and like her chest is like, did you get some strange weird ass vision quests as well?
Aye. What the hell is that?
Who
What-
the fuck?
You don't know anything about that bird or nothing?
How much would I know about this bird? Like, would it be something that I've had in Legends before? Can I make an Arcana or Nature check?
I think you know that the island is, this is an incredibly magical space, right? And it's a very old magic. This is foundational, old world stuff. Almost, I would say, like Fey magic in that sense. You haven't experienced this particular phenomenon, but you have experienced creatures that would appear and disappear during your Bishteen. You have had visions here during that time. You are at the closest point to kind of the spiritual and most sacred center for Cetarians here. So in one sense, it's unusual to have this moment with an outsider after combat. But if you're going to get any message, if you're going to ever be in tune with time and fate and where your path leads, it's going to be here.
Right. I relay all that this is like weird things happen here all the time. I've never seen this creature before. There's stories here and there, but some things just sort of appear and disappear and give you just strange visions all the time.
Well, in that, what did you see when I saw Monty, a former member of the crew, and some other people I knew, and then I saw a man, pale and with spears floating around him, holding a person by the throat?
Ruben, just to confirm, what I saw was that one of my cousins fighting.
Correct.
Or was that? Yeah. I saw my cousin, and then it was also strange man being held by the throat.
Weird.
Do you recognize him? Or
I'm assuming not, Ruben. Do I recognize him?
You do
Legends,
not,
tales?
no.
Okay. Never seen him
Neither do
before, no.
neither do I.
Well,
This is a sign of something.
Really?
In which, well, we are in spiritual center. A lot of times things like this will lead you on a path. And I'm not sure if this is a good sign, if this is just an echo of something that happened in the past, or something happening now, or something that we even need to attend to. but we need to remember this, I think.
All right. I'll log it in me memory. But I suppose we have a bit more concerning matters. I'm worried about Harlow
Sunny
and
is
Sonny.
and okay.
Are we allowed to leave? I mean, can we travel at all? I don't know where they are, but
I mean, I can try flying us both, or we're going to have to walk it.
I do. Do we have all our gear, right, Ruben? Presumably.
Hmm?
Yeah, I do have a flying carpet.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Lucy. And he like unfurls it.
Okay,
So I
this
guess we could take
work.
to the sky.
Yeah, if we can get no pun intended, a bird's eye view.
Aye. Question, Marini.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of the Pitch Black Pirates?
Oh,
Then I'm guessing you never heard of the fellow Jet?
I mean, I've heard of rumors of because it's not often that a Cetarian will join a pirate crew, and I've heard a rumor mill, and well, it's ironic now, considering myself.
Aye.
So is this a part of the Jet? I'm sorry, Jet Pitch Black Pirates?
Aye, Jet is he's a member of Pitch's crew, like you said. He's a Cetarian.
Oh,
And he took a disliking to Captain Harlow.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to see the captain get killed over it, or Sonny.
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't either.
Well, should we see if we could find him? I mean, this island is huge.
Yeah, but if we can get above the treetops, our chances are
Alright.
pretty good.
Well,
And oh, you can't message Sunny back, can you?
no.
Okay, we'll do a search party.
Alrighty. Fly, you stupid son of a bitch.
Excuse me.
I meant the flying carpet. Not you.
Oh,
It's my command word. I'd be
God,
Raider.
It's fucking
because,
gold.
You know, I'm thinking about changing it. Anyway.
Before you do, Marini, you do see a glint of something underneath the little kind of wooden stairs in front of you.
hold.
Oh, alright.
Marini like drags him along. He has no
He
choice. but to
falls
follow
off
me.
the carpet as you pull the rope.
I want to investigate that glinty thing.
Make an
Oh.
investigation check.
I think Mariny's talking. She's like, "There's something here. I saw something shiny. I'm very good at finding shiny things. It's gotta be here."
Alright.
I'm also just trying to find what my investigation bonus is. Okay,
That's all good. All good.
got 21.
Nice.
21. You see the glint is a little metal piece that is holding a small faux door, little small like cubby, closed underneath the stairs. It is painted to look like the natural wood, but it is just off color enough that it is man-made. We're talking probably like 3 inches across. This is a very, very small space.
There's a little door. I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
You
Oh,
wanna-
you get advantage, or whatever. Your
Do I
paladin.
get advantage?
No, you have your
Oh.
paladin aura, I meant.
Oh wait, I can have my paladin aura still. I thought that was only in combat.
No,
Okay.
any saving
Oh,
throw.
at what is it? 12 plus 5, not 3.
Yeah, you pass. You'll take half damage.
Okay. Oh shit!
Well,
I've
it's not a
learned
lot.
nothing.
You take 3 points of fire damage as a little small explosion pops
Oh,
from the little door,
Bitch.
burning your hand a little bit. But the object that is inside is unaffected.
I would like to take the object?
It is a very, very small piece of glass, like a cylindrical container, inside of which is a bit of parchment.
All right.
What is it?
And I should also say that
Sure.
the outside of the glass case, there is text written in common. The text says, "Seriously, don't open this." Dash
Jeremy would-
Salome.
Says, seriously, don't open this too late. Salome?
Salome.
Excuse
Hey,
me?
that's one of the crowns
Oh,
of paradise. You got pitch black, you get Salome, and you got Pan.
little trickster. And she uncorks it to see what the little parchment is.
It is a piece of Salome's map. It is the largest chunk of it you found so far. It's hard to tell in this particular context which portion of it is, but there's a lot of detail here. This appears to be a more central piece.
And we know that, presumably, that's what it is.
Yes, the parchment age and the text that is on it matches what you've already seen on the other, I think, 2 or 3 pieces that you've found so far.
Marini, do you know what this is?
No.
It's a piece of the map that leads. Wait, where does it lead? The end of the line, right?
You believe it to be some location in the New World, which is the second half of the Grand Line.
It leads to. Well, I don't know. A treasure that Salome had found or hid,
Oh, sure.
presumably leading to the end of the line. This is great.
Do you have other parts of this map?
Aye, we do. Who has them? Harlow has a piece, and who else? Do we know? Do we remember?
I don't recall offhand. I think you might have left it with Sunny in like the map room for the navigation stuff, but I don't recall.
You might be right.
Did we
Yeah.
have more than one bit? I
Or
thought
did we only have one?
piece.
But
I
we
think-
know that Salome has one on his person.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so then now we have 2.
Now we have 2, and Salome also has one. So if we want it, that's something to go get later.
Well,
Well,
that's well done. Good eye on you.
thank you. She brushes like the soot off of her hand, but then also looks at McCleary, who got like struck by lightning as well early in the fight, and like brushes him off.
I'll be all right. Just a mild shock. My
All
heart's ticking faster, but that's about it.
Oh,
Let's
that's
take to the
not
sky.
good. Okay, let's fly, you stupid son of a
We know why
bitch.
it's taking faster.
It's not the reason. Fly, you stupid son of a bitch.
Excellent. And the two of you fly off
How are we gonna fly?
into the sunset.
You bitches.
Um,
On an island.
we now move from the lovebirds. Get it? Very clever.
Ow, ow.
Ruben, what's your address?
Oh, I have it.
That's not
Yes.
worth doxing him. What the heck? So you're so vengeful.
We move now to another part of the island. Speaking of the message that Sunny
trees.
left. Yeah, you've just landed back in the top of the trees here. The 3 of you, on different branches, but close enough where you can see and hear each other. The space beneath you is, again, you are hundreds of feet up in the air here. There are an untold number of branches between you and the ground below. So much so that it kind of has this almost cloud-like effect unless you're looking far enough out. Jet is still panting a little bit, covered in like a slight sheen of sweat. There's beautiful golden light from the sun as the sun is actually beginning to set now. You're near the end of the first day here. And the coloration of the sun, it reflects against the leaves, and it creates this beautiful kind of golden ambiance. It's this weird ethereal feeling of a very peaceful, beautiful space. And for the three of you, it has been only a minute since the battle raged up above. You can see the beautiful white clouds to the left of you and to the right of you, and the deeper portion of the forest behind you. And of course, in front of you is Jet, his helmet off, those dark charcoal tinted wings, still the most distinctive part of him. And Sunny, just to clarify, I think you did land with Featherfall, fairly close by, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's how I'd imagine far away.
Yeah.
Sunny is. Based on what we did yesterday or last week.
And while Jet only speaks Cetarian, or is only willing to speak Cetarian, you still have the bit of stone on your neck, both you and Sunny, that allows you to speak to him and understand what he's saying. And he looks at you, confused. He's still injured from the fight, but you have taken considerably more than he has. The armor is still kind of pulsing with every heavy breath, and he looks at you skeptically, but for the time being, he is not in fighting mode. And he asks one simple question, and that is, why did you heal me?
We don't, and I kind of like falter to my knee. We don't have to do this.
We have to do this. I can't let this go.
I look at Sunny, who's like, I would imagine like 200, 300 feet away. Is that right?
I don't think I was that
accurate?
far.
40
I
away?
was
40 feet away?
When I was trying to cast spells, I was 60 feet, I think, because I wasn't close
not that
enough.
far at all.
I wasn't close enough to Misty Step, which is 30 feet.
Yeah, and actually the map, you are 55 feet from him. So that
Okay,
actually
that's kind of perfect. Okay. I look at Sunny, and I look back at him, and I say, we don't have to do this. And if you kill me, you will die. My entire crew knows where I am. And they won't let that happen. And I look back at Sunny. Right?
I don't think they know where we are.
Asshole.
Do they know what you've done?
And I look back at Sunny. Some of them.
Do they know what you've done? To me.
I'm sorry. I wish I could fix what I did. But I want to try. Even if it doesn't work. The job has gotten me nothing. Interrogating people has gotten me nothing. We never gained any information. We never found out a secret. There is no weapon. There is no God. There is no power. It's just hurting people. And I realize that now. And I look back at Sunny. And God damn it, I'm trying to be better. But if you kill me, I'll never get that chance. And I get down on my other knee. So please, let me help you.
Harlow, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Let's see. Oh yeah, okay.
Yay.
And then let's see. Okay, we'll
Okay.
take a 20. We take these.
In the fight previously, and I think I described this last time, the hurt and the pain that Jet has been through, it's not too dissimilar from your own life. It's certainly from a different place, but there is same kind of resentment and regret and all those feelings of guilt being here, surviving after your wife, trying to find what is your purpose after that leaves you. And you've come from two very different worlds, two very different perspectives. But what you're saying here is how you really feel, and I think you are reaching something. Because I think Jet is young, and he's brash, and he only knows this one way of dealing with his problems. The only times you all have seen him, he's been in some capacity being violent or mean or aggressive. He has no other outlet because there is nothing else he can do to change what has happened to him and to those he cares about. But I think for a moment here, we kind of see the manga panel of you on the left side, on your knees, him struggling with these emotions on the right side. Little flashbacks of what we saw last episode of him being tortured and what led up to that. He looks at you and sighs. What could you possibly do that would make up for everything that you've done?
I look at Sunny, and then I look back to Jet, and I get up. Join my crew. Join my crew and help me find out what's at the end of the Grand Line.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh shit.
Well, that would be one way to solve a rival problem.
Can I get advantage?
It's kind of convincing, to be
Hey.
honest.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
24.
That roll?
Let me. Sorry, what was that, James?
I said absolutely nothing.
I think it was Ryan.
I said, do you really need advantage with that roll?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 24. But
It's great.
You know what's nicer than an 18? A 20.
20, yeah.
He seeing what you've said and seeing your immediate desire to continue the fight, he sits down. Clearly this is taking a lot out of him, both physically and emotionally. And for the first time in your limited interactions over the course of this adventure, you see a small smile curl at the edge of his lips, just a little bit, not a big laugh or anything, just a small recognition of something. And he says, Pitch is going to be very mad at all of you if you do that. I want to know why I should trust you over him. I've been given some time to do what I want to do in between our journey, but I know that he is. I feel like he's gonna get there before anyone else does. Let me
Go ahead.
Let me think about it for the night.
Harlow nods his head. Okay. I want you to see what I've become. That's the only way, Jet. You remind me of my son. I'm sorry, I was out of line.
It's all right. My name isn't really Jet. It's just Jazia. Jazia the Morning Dew. I didn't want to use my real name. I didn't feel like I deserved it after what happened. Let me think about it.
Okay, Jazia. Sonny, I think our
ahead.
crew is worried. Can you hear me, Sonny?
You're gonna have to speak up.
Let's find a way down. And I look at Jazzy together. With Jizzy.
Oh my god.
Good old Jizzy the Morning Dew.
Jizzy the morning dew, you know what I mean? It's like, Jizzy the morning dew.
He's like, I don't think I'll join your crew.
Yeah.
You know what?
He goes right back to hating you. You guys
What's
can
wrong,
fight again.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I hate being
Let me post the See, this I feel the pain any DM feels when you make a name for some I didn't see
No, not at all.
Oh no!
How many DMs have called me a problem? I think we're going on 3 now.
I think he might just go with Jet. I think he might just stick with that. Wow.
The moment is dead. Thank you,
Moment is
Smallfication.
dead.
You're right.
The question I was gonna ask you, I hate all of you so much. No, that's a lie.
That's a mute.
Harlow, do you think you have reconciled with your rival?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
That is
And then we
cool.
all
No.
jump out of the tree.
Let's talk it out with Achilles next.
Y'all are no longer rivals.
Holy
Wow.
shit. We did it. Okay.
Jet, who will, for the time being, we call Jet. He will help the two of you down. He can fly, and he's happy to do that. He will make a point of the fact that y'all can't fly, and he will be happy to assist in this instance.
I mean, I'm happy enough to jump.
Okay, well, you're free to do whatever you'd like to do at this point. My heart is broken a little bit. Okay.
You'll get over it, I'm sure. I'll mark off my spell slot. I jump and I cast Featherfall.
Sure. Okay.
It's easier that way.
Yeah. I'm here. I am.
Bearing your soul
Bearing my soul.
in the form of Jizzy the
named-
Morning Dew.
Jizzy the Morning Dew. Oh my god.
Sorry, I haven't
He
looked in
changed his
hours.
I
name
just
to
see the
Jet.
morning dew every day.
Yeah.
Evens up.
God.
Right, and now we're done.
Wake up, Jizzy the morning dew.
All right. Okay. It's Jazia.
Jazia.
Okay.
Jazia. Okay, there's an there. Okay,
Oh my
Jazia.
god. Okay, I'm going to move to the next to the next group. Splitting the party was such a bad idea. I don't know why y'all talked me into doing
And
this.
you know you'll
Okay.
do it again.
I know I'll do it again
Look at the
because y'all
moments
believe
that
me.
came
Okay.
from it. It's great.
Okay.
Except for that one.
Let me grab
Sorry,
did I-
that one.
Okay. Entertainment. All right. Next folks. We're now going to move over to Myrtle and Razim and Salome. Last we left with the three of y'all. He was going to introduce you to his friend Tomka, which is not a name you can possibly any possible way make fun of. Tomka.
Give us 5 minutes.
I know. Okay.
Enjoy playing with Tomka toys.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus.
He's a
That's
Tonka
actually not
truck,
that
yeah.
bad.
Tonka
That's
truck.
not that bad.
But Don,
But Donka.
Keep rushing on my patonka tonk tonk.
Each time we do this, I add more HP to the next boss. You understand this, right?
Oh no.
oh,
Forward kill.
sorry, Ruben.
It's okay. No, this is great. We have 81 people who are watching the suffering that happens to me, and they're gonna be on my side when the next boss. It's gonna be
Oh
great.
my god. Psych, we're not adults. JK.
Okay. Tomka is another Cetarian. He's maybe in his like 20s or 30s. He's very tired eyes, or very like sunken eyes. He's one of the few Cetarians with facial hair. He has a mustache, like a short trimmed beard. He's like dark brown hair. He's actually, I'll just say this, he's based off of the actual person who was the player for Pan.
Oh, okay.
Whose name is Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
So we should stop making fun of him then.
See, all you have to do is name these characters after real people, and you can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, bet.
There's a fire in the middle of the small straw hut, which is temporarily made while they're at the home island. Most of the Cetarians don't actually live here long term, with the exception of those more elder folks who kind of monitor and oversee the Bishteen coming of age ceremony. So y'all are kind of in this small circle with Salome and the Cetarian, and you're being served some of the native bird species up here to eat. It's very kind of fatty, tender meat. It kind of reminds me in my mind like what it looks like, kind of like a very soft, flavorful version of like turkey. And Salome
delicious.
is digging in almost he has no sense of personal manners or space here. He is talking to both of you while he's eating. Murmel, his ferret, is actually a little more dignified in how quickly she's eating. Before I kind of get to what he's asking you, I'm curious, Myrtle and Razim, what is your state of mind at the moment, given I think at least Razim took drugs last time?
I didn't take drugs. Stop it.
I mean, how many hours has it been since we first arrived?
It's probably been a few hours. Yeah,
Okay,
so you had
then-
enough time for it to hit,
Well, after the first hour, it would have been at its peak. Not that I know anything about that, but it would probably be in its
2 hours.
afterglow.
2 hours.
Yeah, it's probably in its afterglow state, so he's more meditative, if anything. I don't know
Cool.
what the fuck Razim is, Little Z is doing though.
Little Z was
That's his
high
first
as
time.
fuck.
Little Z, because again, a lot of drugs, very small body mass. I would say, weighs less than like a towel soaking wet, because he's a puppet. He is just laying back, looking up, just kind of mumbling stuff to himself.
Can I use this opportunity? Sorry to interrupt. I want to get to know Little Z. Especially when he's probably more talkative right now.
He is more talkative right now.
Oh no.
Razim is nearby, but he's more focused on the meat. He's hungry.
Myrtle, kind of, where is Little Z?
Dick. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
What?
Jonah just sent me.
Oh, he sent it. Got him.
Wow,
Got him.
that's pretty lewd. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking lewd, huh?
Lewd enough that you just yelled dick.
Yeah.
Fondly.
You just fucking sprang it on him, huh? What the
Sorry.
heck?
Sorry, guys.
Man, that wasn't even a game.
Bring
Like
it on him.
all of China knows that you're horny on me right now.
China knows.
China knows you're gay.
Anyway, what are you asking, Little Z?
Actually, quick question: does Little Z like do his own thing every once in a while, or is he always in proximity of Razim?
I think he's probably, well, you know what? I think you probably have seen him around the ship at night, just kind of walking around.
That's creepy.
I think in this situation, because of, you know, the drugs, the regime is probably nearby. You know, parental watching, sort of. Even though
That's fair.
at this moment in time, he is eating. He's very happy with the food he's eating right now.
That's fair. I think Myrtle goes up to both of you guys and kind of sits closer to Little Z at this point and says, "So, I have a bit of a question for you. I feel like I've gotten to know Razim pretty well, all things considered. But I feel like you have similar qualities, but can't get it quite a read on you, Little Z. What do I even ask a fucking puppet? Why are you on the Grand Line? Question mark. Do you have your own things that you want in life?
What is life anyway?
Oh no.
At this regime just side eyes you. Actually, he's not even looking at you, but you could tell that he's looking at you.
Relax, Razim. We've come to an understanding, you and I, right? And more so than anything else, take this as a gesture of me trying to understand. So, maybe you can tell me, Razim. So, your Little Z has kind of his own little quirks and personality traits. Just how different is he from you?
I mean, to be honest, I think it's pretty clear, don't you think? Although I'm not sure how much of that. I mean, he's linked to me, so that's the reason why he can move. But
do you think that this might be a weird metaphysical thing? But do you think that maybe some of his personality traits that aren't yours currently are maybe from your old self?
Well, most likely, you know, now that I think, I don't know why I never did this before, but I can kind of feel a different wavelength of magic emanating from him. But it more feels like my magic's being converted into something that I figured allows him to stay alive.
Little Z, I'm curious about your opinion too. How different do you feel like your own person, or do you? This is some weird, trippy shit.
I have my own free will.
That's what I was worried about, Razim.
Can you stop it? I'm trying to eat. You're making me laugh.
Like, Razim, when you talk and when you laugh, it sounds cheerful and joyous and filled with personality. But when Little Z does it, it somehow seems like he's laughing at a secret joke.
Well, is that about accurate, Little Z? You got a joke you want to tell us?
I have lots of secrets.
All right, tell us one now. Random. Give us one random secret.
I used to be taller.
Oh God!
There you go.
Fucking
Now you know. Now you know more about him.
Trying to change the subject. Are you enjoying your trip, Little Z?
I'm having lots of fun.
Good. Anyway, Razim, I'm talking to you now from now on.
You sure? Because this is kind of your fault that he's like this.
I mean, I feel like I've gotten some more insight on him, but you
Okay.
trust him? I trust him. Sadly. Point is, what are your thoughts on Salome on this journey?
I should note Salome is not too far from you at the moment. You're kind of
How
eating
do
with
you
him.
feel about Salome on this journey?
Why are you whispering?
Because Salome is sitting right next to you.
Hey guys, are you enjoying the food?
Yeah, actually,
Yes,
it's really
very
good.
Love the
we have-
mashed potatoes.
What?
Potatoes.
This is just chicken.
That's
mean,
why
it's
it
burned.
tasted funny.
Time to get crap
Here's
out of
what-
bed.
Anyway, thanks Salome for this food. I'm very much satisfied. Although I wish you could have like kind of spiced this up a little bit.
I mean,
Although I'm
the
not a
night's
cook
still
myself.
young. I wonder how everyone else has been doing with theirs. This has been pretty relaxing, all things considered.
Yeah, it's like a little vacation. I don't
Yeah.
see any reason why it wouldn't be any different for the others.
I mean, it's the same island.
Yeah, it's the same island. Yeah. They're probably eating better food than us. Maybe they found some special fruits. Anyway, you're changing the subject, aren't you?
Slightly.
We can talk about it later if you're not comfortable.
Sure.
'Cause you
Razim,
don't
do you
look
have any
comfortable.
questions on your mind that you want to ask?
Yeah, actually I do. Can I have seconds?
Sure.
Ah, yes. Let's go.
By the way, I kind of told you earlier that I was going to try and, convince Pan to join my crew. But I was wondering, you guys seem, really cool, and I'm always, looking for more humanoids for my crew. Would the two of you, maybe your whole friends want to join? If Pan doesn't agree to join, my group, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna head into the new world, and I'm gonna try to take down the emperors, and then find the treasure before anyone else does.
You got it all planned out, huh?
I mean, it would probably be, I'm sure Her Majesty is very powerful indeed, but it probably would be useful to have a more diverse crew.
Yeah, well, Her Majesty, as I told you, I think she's gonna stay here. She decided to leave us, which again is why I now have access to the log pose again. So I think that we're pretty unstoppable now. I'm not even sure that the admirals can get in our way at this point.
Are you saying that to be nice to us? Because you made it sound like before that you would just destroy us.
I would destroy you guys. I don't want to, but just the difference in power is just like it's a lot, So, I think I could probably do it with like one hand. I think Myrtle could do it with like just her foot. So,
Well, now I want to try sparring with him. I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking, what's your... I think we all have similar opinions of the fucking police of the sea, but, do you have any gripes with them personally, or are they just a speed bump to you?
do I have any gripes with them personally? They kind of, stabbed my friend in the chest and killed him for the first time. And they're really like corrupt and everything. I found that out firsthand when I was part of the Ogden Trust a few years ago.
You have a very cheerful attitude about it, all things considered.
Well, I think you gotta be, happy and looking on the bright side, because otherwise it can get pretty depressing really fast. So I just always try to, keep myself cheerful, and I'm really strong, so that really helps. And I've been able to get back at them quite a lot. Even though they're pretty tough, but you know what? Now I think me and Pan will be able to take all of them if he agrees to join.
Well, I can't personally vouch for the captain or anything. I think we'd have to talk about it, but I always love playing a prank or two for the Imperium.
Ooh, do you have any good ones?
I made one person not wake up again.
Oh, I've done that too.
It's a pretty fun prank. They never see it coming.
The ferret turns and laughs a little bit with its little ferret paw. It's very cute.
So, what exactly did that little rascal over there do?
Oh, to get the bounty?
To get the bounty, it must have been a massive ordeal.
Oh, well, I mean, she scratched one of the admirals.
They're so petty. You get a little bit of rabies and they go all crazy on you. It's stupid. Doesn't
I know
deserve
the
that.
admirals are pretty mean.
They are. Can't take a joke.
Yeah, I mean they're probably the toughest ones out there. I mean, I've heard again the emperors are the strongest folks, but you know the admirals, you know they just you know they're not really nice just generally. They're pretty mean. But got a good one in, and I mean that's why we're together. She's my best friend, so to speak. I think Pan's my best friend, but when I'm not with Pan, I think she's the number 2, so kind of number 1.
Razim, do you have anything you want to add, or?
No, I'm just enjoying the conversation. I mean, this food.
Fair. I think... I'm sorry, I feel like I'm asking so many questions.
No, please. It's totally fine.
I guess I'm more curious about... I'm sure you've had plenty of run-ins with them, right? So surely you've seen if they have any blaring weaknesses or things that they're overconfident about or their strengths. You probably are, from what I assume at least, you're probably incredibly strong, but you haven't been able to sneak in to get too much information, right?
No, I haven't gotten too much information. I mean, I know that they can like transform and stuff, but I haven't seen it happen. I mean, I'm kind of actually mad about it because I was really hoping to get to fight a dragon, but he didn't want to, do that. So next time I hit him, I'm gonna try to, hurt him while he's not in his lizard form.
They can transform, huh?
No, they're. I mean, they look like humans. They're pretty. I don't know. I don't think they're really. I don't know. They can transform into big old dragons, is what I've been told. I haven't seen it happen firsthand, but that's what Pan says, and I think Pan's fought one of them at least once in that form. So yeah, no, they're strong. But I haven't seen them in that form yet.
But surely not stronger than you, right?
No one's stronger than me, not even Pan.
Of course. I just wanted to check. Well, I think that's all I have. I'll be honest with you, son. I'm trying to ask as many questions as I can think of, but my brain's not all here. I'm enjoying the mashed potato. Oh, it's not mashed potato. The chicken.
Oh, is that because you're old?
Yeah, it's because he's old. He's had a long... Yeah, and he's been up
today?
way longer than... Like, usually he has a nap by now, but, he's just been so active
That
today.
does sound really good. That
you
cat
gotta give
looks
him
really
kind of some
soft over
slack.
there. Anyway, I'm going to finish eating my food. Razim, you and Little Z, enjoy whatever the hell you're doing.
Now I'm actually wondering, how does a puppet metabolize mushrooms, Myrtle?
Do you want me to actually answer that, or?
Yes, because I want to know how long that's going to last. And he points at Little Z.
I mean, and I'm totally lying out my ass with this. From what I understand, for creatures like that, this type of the mycology like this tends to bond to any wood or anything like that because it's similar type of wood, similar type of fungi and wood get along splendidly. Probably last a good long while, right?
You're worrying me with that comment.
Maybe it'll permanently grow on him.
Can you not? Can you figure out something?
It'll only last for about an hour or so more.
And then what? Where does it go? He's a puppet, Myrtle.
I mean, oh God, it might actually grow in him. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think it would affect him anymore, but would still be cool.
All right, little Z check. Hey, Z.
Yeah?
How you feeling, buddy?
Time and space are the same. And I can see them both.
All right. If I have to, Myrtle will. Oh God, why am I doing this?
Razim puts his arm over Myrtle's shoulder. He just looks at him the same smile that he always has, but there's something a little bit different about this one. He says, "You'll figure out. You'll be responsible if something wrong happens with him, right?"
I'll be responsible. And he looks at Little Z and says, "All right. I'm not sure if you're used to opening your mouth this much, but here we go. This is the only idea I have." And he's going to try to grab the fucking, because surely it's just like mush right now, right?
You're gonna try to. I'm sorry. Do what?
Yeah.
Reach into Lil Z's mouth, prop that shit open, reach in, grab the mushrooms.
Wait, what?
Lil Z's a puppet. He's basically a walking box.
Yeah.
You reach into his mouth, you get past the tonsils and you're fine, and you just grab that shit out.
It's gotta be like,
big are your
my
hands?
best ideas happen when I'm like this way. Don't worry.
Myrtle, are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, you don't have the same kind of hands I do. If you call them hands.
You have little twigs, but it's okay. It fits you.
You have huge turtle hands, Myrtle.
So you're gonna. Are you actually doing this?
Razim, you wanted him to not be high anymore.
Yes, but I did not think this was
be it universal.
the answer you came to decide upon. I just want you to be responsible for whatever happens to him.
All right, but if mushrooms start growing in him, I am going to harvest them.
Don't talk about harvesting, Little Z.
I'm not gonna harvest. All right. Well, I'll take back in an hour. Drink lots of water. Orange juice tastes really good right now for you if you can drink that. Probably not going to do much for you, but you know what? Why not try while you're still a Pinocchio of a man?
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I also don't think you can vomit it out and get it to not be high. I think it's in your intestines where it absorbs it. But anyway.
Yeah, but what is this talk about intestines and stuff?
Voice of God, how does that work with the puppet?
Well, he's more
you're more than welcome to do some body horror and try to force your fucking hand in its mouth.
Just make sure he doesn't jump off a cliff or anything, please.
Actually, because I'm here and since I've been kind of bonding with Little Z, can I just do a medicine check or any kind of
sure
see how this fucking works as someone that loves magic and imbuing things?
Go for it.
All right, sure. What kind of check am I doing?
A medicine check is totally fine. There is no puppet anatomy check, unfortunately, which would be perfect for this
instance.
A grand
total of 11, Ruben. What do
of
I
11.
learn?
You're donate right now. It's so great. You learn that it is a puppet, but the puppet it changes shape, and it doesn't have the same exact like I said, it has the texture of a puppet if you were to touch it. It does feel like yarn, but it's very, very finely crafted where when Razim makes it Razim sized, it's not like overtly a puppet Razim. It does look fairly close. It's a pretty good simulacrum of Razim. I think in this smaller form, it looks much more puppet-like. So, the texture of like the individual yarn strings are more pronounced. There is no like giant hole in its body where the hand would go in. That appears to have been removed by virtue of whatever the magic is. It's a puppet. It's not a hand puppet. So I think you get from the medicine check, it has some of the same arcane attributes that you would get from like a construct, which I think you probably are familiar with in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an inanimate object that has been entranced with some kind of arcane ability. There are rules that relate to using it for this particular creature. Every construct is different. This is a puppet construct. I think you would also know, even with the 11, just based on the fact that you are the most knowledgeable among the party about this stuff, I think you would recognize that this particular kind of enchantment is either extremely rare or almost unheard of. Typically, wizards or artificers will be using more solid objects like stone or steel as the basis of their construct, because they can take on and absorb more potent magical energy. It's much harder to keep that stable in the form of a small puppet, especially one with this kind of level of complexity in terms of its potential sentience. So whatever magic has created this thing is of a variety that is older or at least unknown in specificity to you.
All right. With that out of the way, I guess I'm going to do one thing of value. And while I've been talking to Razim, Little Z and Razim, who are on the opposite side of me, with my back turned to Salome, I'm going to put a little bit of a potion into Razim's food. I'm casting Enhance Ability by putting some stuff in his food. I'm going to use Eagle Splendor. The target has advantage on charisma checks, just for future related stuff if needed.
Okay, and how long does this last for Razim?
Concentration up to an hour.
Okay, so Razim, you have for the next hour, it was advantage on
advantage on
charisma
any
checks?
Charisma checks, so
okay,
yes.
Cool.
And that's all of my stuff.
Okay. All right. We will then depart from this location and go over to the other part of this sort of more nature-like aspect of the island for Freya and Takai. Let me just load up the music for the next little bit. Okay. So we're now a few hours after the three previous vignettes. It is now kind of very early evening. Freya and Takai, you've already now met Salen, the young boy who kind of joked around with you guys, and he's introduced to you, the two of you, to his family here on the home island, a few cousins and his older brother who just the previous year passed the Bishtine, so he's probably like 14, 15, somewhere in that variety. And Salen has invited the two of you to join them for what's called the Parade of the First Night, where everyone who's in that particular year's class of the Bishtine, those who are going to go through the year-long stay on the island, and their families participate in a special flight where they fly around the island a few times, all together under the stars. It's something that outsiders typically have never encountered, but Salen has taken a liking to the two of you. Is that something that y'all would want to do, or do y'all have other errands to attend to on your own?
I guess it depends on if Freya can help Takai fly around with them, and how well Freya is. How good at flying Freya is.
Well, I mean, once again, I still have spell slots left. I can just cast fly.
That's fair. What do you say?
I mean, if they're letting us do it, I'm all for it.
Agree to that?
You, Takai, are greeted by the individual that Salen has introduced as his older brother, and he's probably how tall are you, Takai?
That's a good question. Not very. Let's see, Takai.
You and I may have very different interpretations of not very tall, but we'll see.
Come on, Google Docs, be nice to me. Was I a smart boy and put his height? Because it's not super tall. Come on, please. Google Docs, why are you failing me like this right now? I'm a good fucking bitch.
5'7". I could be wrong.
Wait, where did you find that?
I don't know. I just think it is. This is a Riley opinion.
5'7", yes.
Riley's always right.
Yeah, 5'7's not short. They're speaking as someone who is sub 5'7, that is not short.
Listen, my dad is 6'10". I have very skewed
6'10?
Yo, what the
Yes,
fuck?
really?
Holy shit.
How tall are you?
5'11". I have very skewed opinions on what
Sweden,
counts.
you're 10.
See, I've
Alright,
met a
the family's
6'5"
Nephilim,
person.
gotcha.
To get into my room, and I have almost 10-foot ceilings.
Jesus, we need to regroup and talk about Ryan's dad. At some
Yeah.
point.
That's
some-
big.
Ryan, don't leave right
I
after
was
we
thinking
need to
80
discuss
of
your
just now
father.
learned that Ryan's dad is almost 7 feet tall.
I did not
I've
know
known you
that.
for 10 years. You're hitting us with this now.
Wow.
Too long
6'10",
too
that's
long
wild.
didn't read. This is why I have a skewed opinion on what counts as short.
What's your dad's
That's
name?
fair.
Well, if
Fair
you
enough.
stand with me, Ruben, and Jonah, you will feel very tall.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I already know about that. I
Sorry.
have been in Jonah's physical presence. He is shorter than I am.
He is a short boy. He exudes tall energy, but he is not that tall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. What was going on? Oh yes,
Roast
we were doing
Jonah's height.
we were playing D&D. So Salen's older brother goes over to Takai. He is taller than you, not 6'10", probably like 5'10". And he says it's very nice to meet you. We don't typically take outsiders on the parade of the first night, but Salen has invited you, and I think it'd be rude not to at least give you the opportunity if you'd like.
Well, thank you. Are there any rules with this whole like flying thing? Also, I'm single. Also, do I need to is it okay that I don't have wings that I'm flying with?
Well, we could carry you and your friend if you'd like.
I can fly.
And
But
I can
the
use
two of you
magic
do
to
need
fly.
the two of you do need to stay together, under the Bishtine's rules. But otherwise, if you can fly yourself, that's perfectly fine.
Kai cast flying himself.
And
Okay, and Freya?
I'm just gonna
I wanna
Lift
fly.
I'm gonna lift off.
Okay.
Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Pearl of Power to get a third little spell slot, and then use that to cast fly. I'm not using my last 4th level spell slot on this.
Okay. Here.
I have a question though. How What would my wingspan be? Am I in danger of hitting Takai with my wings?
Well, the two of you need to be together because you have the ribbon
Right.
around you.
But
I can't imagine your wings are that big.
Okay.
Probably a few feet.
And in
Yeah.
and in
yeah.
3D space, like he could probably fly like down
That's
from
true.
you.
That's true.
so-
That's true. That's true. I was thinking in terms because I forgot how long the Bastine ribbon was.
2 feet.
2 feet. Okay.
Okay. So, Salen and his older brother Neos, they take you with them along the parade of the first night. You will be lapping around the home island 3 times. The first time you'll be flying north-south, so from the top to below the island and then back up. The second time will be around the perimeter on kind of the plane of the island. And the third time will be kind of through the island just above the treetops. And you'll be doing this with the rest of the Cetarians who are here and their families. And while their families are here and the Cetarians are here, the various sky whales who form these clans are flying very slowly around the edge of the air pocket where the island sits. The space, again, as I described when you first arrived here, it's full of clouds except for the area right around the island. It is this almost arcane protected space, keeping the island from view, and the massive sky whales kind of stay within that space, and that's also where you will be flying. The sun has now fully set, and you are up above the clouds. You can see above you the starry night. You've seen this a million times on the Limelight, but it is more brilliant and clear than you've ever seen it before. It is like an ocean of speckled, inky blackness. The older cousins are just in front of you, Neos and Salen. You are kind of part of this large line of Cetarians, only 2 or 3 side by side. Everyone is flying very slowly. They are not saying anything. They're simply kind of taking in the beautiful space. I want you to imagine, I want you to close your eyes and just imagine yourselves flying in kind of like, it's almost like you're flying, you're flying in the night sky. There are stars around you, and because the light here is not perfect, the light of the main moon is only a crescent up here. Most of the Cetarians in front of you are only kind of illuminated by moonlight or by the starlight. So you're in this almost entirely pitch black space, with the exception of the little kind of made up stars where the Cetarians fly, and the beautiful blues of the underside of the sky whales, which do faintly glow in this particular space. And if you look at their eyes just the right way, you also get a similar kind of gold bluish tint from them. You can kind of make them out as if they're additional stars against the canopy of space here. The first lap around from above and below, you see, of course, the slow wings of the island. You feel the very beautiful and comforting peacefulness of the space. You can feel the cool air over your skin and ruffle your hair. You typically, when you get that wind, you are experiencing the salty sea beneath. But here, the air is it's very nice and it's fresh and relaxing. The second lap around, kind of the side, is a much longer lap around. You get a better look at the underside of the island's wings, all those texts of Cetarian in blue that do glow in the night. And then the third lap is through the island, just above the tree line. And this time you can see bits of campfires every so often in the jungle and forest below. And you also see beautiful and strange flora and fauna. Both running through as if kind of chasing and following the line of Cetarians flying through this space. But also many of them are glowing, kind of adding this very beautiful rainbow-like effect beneath some of the trees. The island is almost alive at night. I kind of want you to like imagine the touchstone that I have in my head is like the nighttime scene in the first Avatar movie, and you are flying through it above the tree line and just are seeing all these beautiful colors, left, right, every direction you look. Looking up, you see the starry night. I want you to tell me what is going through each of your minds. The two of you have had a day of extended, intense, emotional conversation, and now you get something that is so different from that, so internalized, so special. You can see the community here, the families together. Takai, I think you maybe even take particular note of the way that Neos is helping his younger brother here. What is going on in your head?
I think for Takai, the moment they kind of set down in this kind of very collectivist village area, he got hit with a massive pang of homesickness. Just remembering how, like, even in the hard times, all of the catfolk of Feldspar Island would band together as much as they could. Not always able to help each other completely, because times are tough and they're a fishing village. Not a whole lot of money there sometimes, and especially as they start flying out, he's just remembering times that he's been out late at night with his dad in the boat, spearfishing, times he may have even taken Tafir out when he was feeling better and could manage the trip just to see the bright moon and the stars, maybe a meteor shower once or twice. And as he's flying, he kind of reaches into his pocket and slips the coin between his fingers. And for the first time, he's starting to wonder, was it actually a good idea to make this deal?
Freya?
While Takai feeling homesick, Freya is sort of just basking in this feeling of togetherness, and just she feels very much at home here. While these are completely, these are different people. Like she's before Marini, she'd hardly seen Cetarians in her life. So she's viewing them as almost angelic people, and just that mixed with the stars, and after having a long day and feeling so welcomed here, she's just overwhelmed with emotion, and it's hard to see her in the dark, but once your eyes adjust, you would be able to see her wiping at her eyes. Because, she didn't grow up around, a community like this. She was very much isolated. So she doesn't. She's overwhelmed in more ways than one, but it's mostly like it's a good kind of overwhelming feeling, if there is such a thing, and she's not quite sure how to react.
The caravan parade of flying Zetarians finish their last fly through of the jungle and the forest area. They all gather in the middle of the forest, where those who will go through the coming of age ceremony will now depart with their cousins in tow, their elder cousins in tow, to begin the first week here, where they will be paired up. And at the end of that week, they will then leave. The older siblings will then leave to the rest of their normal life. You now see the massive trees above you from a different perspective. You are in the jungle as it is glowing, and as the stars that you saw above are now largely obscured by the thick canopy of the trees. You're once again the two of you together, and you see Takai, Salen, who's not old enough to do the Bishteen yet, but Neos, his older brother, will be shepherding another cousin, and you can see them tie the same exact sort of ribbon that the two of you have as they walk past the wall of sorts of large flowers, and from there they then enter the area of the island where the Bishteen takes place.
So, Salen, what exactly is the deal with the ribbons? And he kind of points to the one tied around his and Freya's wrists.
He pauses before he is heading over, and he says, it's so that we can stay with our younger sibling and cousin, so that they have someone to help them before we leave for the year.
The guy kind of looks at Freya, looks back at him, and then looks up into the night sky and just says, "Can't really run from being an older brother, can you?"
There's nothing more important than family.
With that, Freya just kind of... She's kind of turned a little pale. But she doesn't say anything.
So, what now?
You have a week here together, either in this part of the island or back with the others. And this is actually a perfect transition to the question that I'm asking everyone, which is, first, what will you be doing during the week with your paired partner? And then second, when you eventually leave this place, having come here initially with a deep introspective look into your past when you spoke to the Allmother, what is going through your mind here? What has changed, if anything? Has your perspective on anything changed? I do need to answer one quick question, which is that shortly after Harlow and Sunny are brought back down to Earth, I think one of the elder Zetarians sees that the ribbon has been broken. Or actually, you know what? I think what actually happens...
Yeah.
But
You got us in trouble, you dick.
Hey, look. He started it.
I think Jet offers to get another pair and keep this between the three of you.
Okay. Okay.
Because otherwise you would have been banished for the week, and you would have been on the
Yes,
ship.
right. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, and I will get to Jet at the end, so you will be the last of these questions.
Wunderbar.
So, I'll go in reverse order there. So, Freya, the 2 questions. First, what are you doing during this week with Takai? And what is going through your mind here? What do you leave this week on the home island like?
She's gonna understand Kai a little bit better, and hopefully, she thinks that hopefully they'll go back with a little bit less hostility. There are some things that she's still worried about in terms of like, how things are gonna be when she gets back. But ultimately, she's just happy that she's got her friend back. And as far as the week goes, she's gonna try to like treat this almost like a vacation, kind of like a real one, where it's like, if they have a chance to relax, then she wants to take it. She wants to like play games with the other, Saterians, participating in the Bastine. And yeah, she wants to have a good time.
And Takai.
Takai, I think. So where are they getting this? Where are they getting the fish?
From the sea.
From the sky.
From the sea, several thousand feet below you, through the clouds, at the ocean.
They do long fishing.
They do very long fishing.
They're not fishing. They go there and they get the fish.
Oh, they just go down there and grab
They can fly.
it? Nice.
I have a proposition. What if Takai teaches Freya how to fish?
Ooh, that sounds cute.
Yeah. Because what I was going to say is that, and if he needs to expend a slot each day to cast fly to do this, he's probably going to be going fishing every day to make sure that they have something to eat.
And there are rivers on the island as well, so you don't have to go all the way down to the Grand Line.
But yeah, I think part of the way through, Takai probably does just show Freya the ropes a little bit, and he also leaves the cooking for her.
She's gonna get good at it. Cooking fish and fishing, I guess.
And as far as what he's thinking, I think the longer he spends time with Freya, the more that she sees how kind of sweet and innocent and in awe of the natural world. And you'll forgive me for being a dramatic bitch about this. The more certain he is of what he needs to talk about Harlow, what he needs to say to Harlow when they get back to the ship.
Okay. Razim, what is the impact of your week here, and what are you doing during this week attached to Myrtle?
Razim, I feel like after everything he's learned, about himself, he has more. He's more. I guess he wants to learn more about. He's more. I guess. What's the word for it? He's more interested in learning and studying magic, I would say, like his past self used to. Like he was more. I would say. He was very curious about the culture of the Saterians and see if they, if he can learn anything from them, whether through watching them or probably he's trying to see if he can find like any texts that he could try to read. I would assume he would at certain points walk around and see if there's like a library or a place where people are talking about, their culture, or, just trying to absorb as much of it as possible. Anything that he could pick up that could maybe make him, change how he thinks about magic and how he does things. So I can foresee him doing that a lot, as well as exploring the island as much as possible.
I think you during your week, if that is your goal, I think one of the places that you encounter is a temple in the area where the duel took place earlier. The temple is a very small chamber. On one side of the wall, there's a fairly large, detailed mural. It depicts a festival with one of the sky whales, Cetarians wearing very special ceremonial garments and colorful dress. And in the middle of the temple, there is a table made out of like the portion of a tree trunk. And above it, there is a sphere of water slowly rotating with slight ripples over the surface of it, kind of hovering in its space. It's kind of as if it were like a star in a planetarium exhibit. And it is this strange place because you can feel the innate arcane essence of the island particularly strong here. And you're told that it is a kind of the Cetarians don't necessarily pray in the way that we would understand, but they do meditate. And I think you might even spend a little bit of time here. And during that time, I think you are maybe getting a few extra kind of moments of those dreams and those memories that you helped unlock with the Allmother's help. So you get, not only do you have better access to those memories, but now you have a little bit more detail. It's a little bit more fleshed out. It's not just a movie that you've seen before your eyes, but it now feels, I think, a lot more real to you. And that comes from the arcane nature of the island, kind of helping bring that to light. And I think there is something inherent about you, for all the reasons that are probably obvious given your story, why a deeply magical place would be so comforting and helpful. So for you, I think it is a very relaxing and very inspirational time here.
Okay. Is there anything like a library where I can look at texts?
There is no library. There is a Cetarian script, and that is, spelled out on the undersides of the sky whale's fins. But there is no reason to keep a written history because the Allmother holds all of that, right? If you are ever uncertain about a particular thing, the Cetarians can always go back to the Allmother and get a glimpse as to what happened.
Damn.
So they've never had a need to write history down because it is saved in a much more visceral and much more reliable way than it otherwise could be.
Okay. Can't sneak out in the dead of night and talk to the Allmother, can I? Be kind of hard.
You very well, if you fly, you very well could.
Just dragging me along while I'm asleep.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I mean. It would be possible if it wasn't for the turtle being tied to me, I would say.
I mean, I'm down to come.
Are you now? Okay. I attempt to ask the All-Mother at some point during the week about just, I guess, magic. Like, how did they use magic? How do they understand it? That kind of thing. I would imagine that this is something this Regime of the Past would be very, very curious about.
What is the question you asked the All-Mother?
How does the All-Mother and the Cetarians view magic? How do they use it? How do they perceive it? How do they draw upon it? Things like that.
It's a strange question. Because the entire world is made of this stuff. It is as foundational as the air you breathe. To say we use it is to say that we can make the sticks of a tree into fire. It is just part of the way that the world operates.
Okay, so to them it's like breathing.
In a sense.
I can dig it.
Okay. Myrtle,
Um,
what do you do during this week, and what is your takeaway?
I think over the week, probably Razim and I, and probably Little Z by extension, have gotten more of an understanding of as peers more than anything else, since he's technically older than me, and I'm probably been having some more banter with him over the week to kind of loosen him up a little bit. But I think the one thing that I want to do is while I'm with Razim talking to the All-Mother, I want to specifically ask about any major conflicts or wars with the Cetarian and the people below.
Unfortunately, there have been many attacks on my siblings and my children. I hope that these things will end at some point.
Is that all I get?
Do you ask a follow-up question?
Sure. Is there any reason why the Imperium is, or everyone is after you and your people?
I actually do have the answer to this, and you asked directly, so I'll give it to you.
Oh.
I wrote it down. Let me just make sure I have it correctly here. We're gonna do a reverse whisper here.
Okay.
So I need everyone besides. Thankfully, it's Nate. So Nate runs the stream. So I need everyone but Nate to move over to the whisper chat, and I will call you back when it's time.
Okay.
Wait, but I'm tied to him. I should be able to.
You're not. It's internal. It's internal.
Damn it.
I'll tell you later.
And you can stay. Yes, you can stay. You're part of the audience. Okay. So here's the basic gist. I don't have the exact text of it, but I do remember what I wrote down, and that is there is actually. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Before I tell you, because this is some lore stuff. In here. I think I know. I remember what the reasoning is. Let's see here. Yeah. So the whales, the sky whales, produce a special material, kind of like how real whales in the real world produce oil.
Mm-hmm.
There is whale oil and other stuff. and it is used. I guess the way that the sky whale that the Allmother would explain it to you is that the Imperium uses this stuff for something that deals with the way that they navigate the Grand Line.
Ah, okay.
So there is a connection between the sky whales and the Line Guild navigators that you've the one that you met in that weird box on the Imperial ship.
Interesting. One final thing before we bring people in. While I'm here, can I get a little bit more any vegetation that grows directly off the whale to study it later?
100%. I think there definitely is stuff that grows just on the whale's surface. Various plants, vegetables, and such that are modified a little bit based on the fact that they're growing on a creature.
All right,
I
then
think you are
pop
more than free to take some.
I'll pop a detect magic to see what seems the most interesting as far as weird vibes from vegetation off the whale, and I'll pocket that for later.
Okay, cool. You have, I'll describe it as like a tomato-like fruit.
Okay, interesting. All right, cool. Thank you.
Wait, before you bring people back in, I don't like to do the audience, but is this literally just Flux again? Because that's what it sounds like.
I don't know what Flux was supposed to be.
I don't know what the flux you're
was
talking
made
about.
out of the Flux.
It's not fuel. It's not fuel. It's a different sort of thing. It does help the guild navigators. How that works and what exactly it's supposed to do with them is unclear. But no, the engines of these ships run with like gas and wind and shit.
Okay.
So
I was about to be like, all right, recycle, reuse, right?
hey, that's half of the art assets that are not your stuff are reused assets. So yeah, let me call everyone back in.
I'll shut up now.
Okay. Okay, I'll let them all filter back in.
I'm gonna pretend like
Actually, I can drag them. I forgot.
I cannot fucking believe Jesus Christ.
Hi.
Oh, welcome back, guys.
All right, we're all
Here we go. We're back.
okay. All right. Anything else you do during the week that you wanted to mention? Are we all good?
I will convey that to Razim throughout our journey, and then I'll tell everyone else later.
A week.
Cool.
Oh, man, we can do a lot in a week.
All right.
A lot of drugs.
Yeah, I think I got.
Can I say I spent the week attempting to convince Jet to join the crew?
100%. 100%.
Okay. Cool.
Talking.
Yo, man, when are you gonna join the crew? And
Yeah, we
he's
can
like,
join the crew.
Well, let me.
So
let me
like
do
we've
my-
got
Pirates
health
suck.
benefits.
Let me-
Makes you
what?
rule.
After what happened to one of our crewmates, you cannot say that.
we have a little puppet guy.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
puppet. We have a mask.
So like you got dental or?
Marini, how do you spend the week?
So I'm guessing we never found Harlow and Sunny.
I think we came back.
I think you will find them on the last day for the
Okay.
obvious reason.
I think what happened there is that they flew like until sundown. We're like, we're not gonna find them like this. Maybe tried finding again in the morning, and so every day, her and McCleary go out to see if they can find them because like we never got another message back from Sunny. He could be dead. In actuality, he's just fucking around with Jen and Harlow.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys had a good time. We're like worried about
We're
you.
like worried, like fucking panicking. What the fuck is happening?
You guys said call an ambulance. What happened? Oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
But
It
not for
fucking matters. But I think when they're trying to forget, hey, our friends might be dead, it's just a lot. It's hanging out with McCleary. They like go hunting together. I think Chad told me that McCleary bought a flask onto the island, so they could swing
Yeah.
that.
Cool.
What else are they doing? They're singing
Yep.
like sea shanties. Like they're having a good time.
Does alcohol affect Cetarians differently than humans?
I think normal alcohol, like Cetarian alcohol, that's different.
But like, why is
Normal
it strong?
alcohol?
Like, how does your body respond to it? Is what I'm saying.
I think Cetarian metabolisms are just faster because like they have
That makes
fly
sense.
around,
Okay,
Yeah.
that would make
like,
sense. Those
yeah,
are like a hummingbird.
blood is literally
They're
different.
light,
Yeah.
like a bird, hollow bones.
Hollow bones.
You don't have hollow bones though. You wouldn't be able to support your
Exactly.
your whole body.
Well, not with that attitude. Damn.
Not that attitude.
For all we know, she weighs 30 pounds.
But yeah, I think it's
Yeah, it sounds like a very, very
bothering
straight,
you.
lovely time together.
very straight.
Ew, the
stargazing. Goes to sleep wrapped in her wings every
Why'd
night.
you say with
like-
the same tone? I would talk about boogers or something like.
It's a good
Ew.
question. I'll let you wonder that why I would say it that way, James.
Heck?
Listen,
I'll
wait.
let you
In my
guess.
defense, Chad has said for McCleary that it's any port in a storm, and I don't think. I don't.
I did say that.
And I don't think Satirians really have like concrete structure of like gender roles, stuff like that. So this
Right.
is just non-binary pansexual solidarity.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I'm now into this now. I'm good. I'm on.
Exactly.
I'm
They're just
on
straight
board.
casting.
Oh yeah, they're just straight passing.
Happy
them.
for you.
I'm sure nothing happens. I'm sure it's
They've
fine.
got 2 hands, James. I'm sure if Razim wants to
They
get
got
in there.
2 hands.
Yeah, come on, Boxman. We got 4 hands between the 2 of us.
Oh shit!
New OTP, McCleary, Marini, Razim, and Little Z.
Oh, why'd you put the puppet into? You made it weird again.
But yeah, I think they have a lovely time bonding. A lot of like
Okay.
deep 2 a.m. talks. I can keep going on. I've thought about
I know.
this.
Riley, I know you as a
Deep
human
2 a.m.
being.
talks about this cell
You-
like
If I gave
IRL.
you an hour, you would just take the whole hour talking about it, which is great. Excellent. McCleary.
Yeah, I think pretty much same. I think probably after the maybe first or second day of really trying to find Sunny and Harlow, it's kind of like, look, we're never gonna find them.
God.
We're never gonna find them.
So,
Give
like,
up.
yeah, I think that it's like, look, people were put in pairs for a reason, and we have to trust in sort of the whale process, and that we looked, the island's huge. I'm not gonna lose more hair over this.
What hair?
So I think that
Back hair.
I think that he kind of resolves to not, it's always in the back of his mind, but to take in the moment more, because it's like, to him especially, this is he would hear stories from about Satarians from sailors, and him and his brother when they were kids. This is huge. Like, this is phenomenal. We're on a sacred island that rarely does any other human probably ever see, let alone be allowed to step on, let alone be a part of a ritual. So it's very much like, to him, very he gets it. He really feels it. But in the back of his mind with that, it's also, I guess it's false. It's a dream, because the reality is they're going back on the line, and he has goals and agendas that this island won't ever fulfill. He's not going to live here. It's not going to stay here. It's just like a fleeting moment. If anything, it only what the All-Mother showed him and what he's experienced from the Satarians only strengthens his resolve. Maybe he's a bit more optimistic about it, but it's like this is just a little blip of nothing, really. And it's kind of sad.
Damn, that's heavy.
And he probably
else?
also tries to learn some Satarian from.
Yeah, Marini
From
definitely
Marini.
like teaches him Satarian, like starts with all like the cuss words first.
How do you say
No.
bussy?
Yeah, give me all the cuss
Ruben,
words.
give me a word.
We'll come up with a. I'll look in the.
Satarian swearing.
You gotta make
Yeah.
a Satarian dictionary.
Well, I have at least a few. Sutas is the obvious one, but
Yeah. Think she teaches him clear Satarian.
I'll have to take some time in the language lab to craft the Satarian bussy.
Satarian bussy. Does this whale shit?
It's Jizaya.
Where do you think islands come from?
Islands are just whale poop. Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
I also want to say, for the record,
Please.
Cleary was a gentleman. Okay.
Yes, yes.
But did he avert his eyes when she had to use the bathroom?
Definitely not.
Takai would be very
Oh
disappointed.
my
They
god.
They definitely showered together. How did you guys ever shower during this week? Maroney and McCleary certainly did.
He's probably like, yeah, I'm not looking. And then when she's not looking, he's like, yeah, I'm looking.
And then when
I mean, with
McCleary's
2
not
feet of
looking,
rope.
she's looking. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't a gentleman about it.
Well, at least as long as it's mutual, I think we're all good.
Yeah, it's mutual.
You look at me shower, I look at you shower. You know, it balances the scale.
Yeah.
Eye contact.
I guess the one question I have is would there have been any need to drop curtains on any scene that took place in that week? That's how I'll put this
No.
question.
Gotta be slow burn.
I don't.
Slow burn.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's too quick, even for McCleary. She like threw on me that she knew who I was, and like
Yeah.
was gonna kill Brandon, and it's like, okay, now I'm stuck with you for a week. Like I
Right.
trust you, but I don't really know you. You
I
know?
took crazy person for a week.
How they've been, stuck with stuck's a bad word to use, but with Riley for 6 hours. The idea of being with Riley for a week is quite an
Don't be
experience.
dead by then.
Don't say that, Ruben. Do not say that.
Corey's
to
about
me.
to spend a week with me in like 2 months.
You've been with Riley in real life, right?
No.
Oh boy. Well,
You guys are gonna have fun. You're gonna have to keep us updated.
yeah. Please, I need the content
Nathaniel
update.
spent a week with me in person.
I have, and it went about as well as you'd expect.
Oh,
I mean, you were
It was
eating
great.
cold burgers out
It
of a
was-
backpack.
Yeah, we
This
just ordered
story-
like
and
40
oh my
burgers,
God.
but you know
I
what?
got back with my ex at some point. Nathaniel was pissed.
Anyway.
That won't happen.
We'll have to do the personal story time next time.
Anyway.
'cause it is
Yeah.
delightful. Okay. Sunny,
Yes.
how are you how are you spending the week now reattached to Harlow? Someone in the chat had the question: are you helping or trying to hinder the quest to get Jet to join?
I think I'm fairly neutral. I don't have any real beef with Jet, but I would at some point when Jet shows up like to ask him a question. And there's no point trying to keep it secret. 2 feet of rope. Harlow's gonna hear anyway. At one point, I would like to ask Jet. So, when are you guys going to attack Anchor 12 then?
What are you talking about?
I have the letter from from Pitch to Pan, asking Pan to get his crew, because I have opening the letter, asking Pan to get his crew and Salome's crew to Anchor 12, attack on Aurelia, wants an alliance.
He
Oh.
didn't tell me what was in the letter. Did you give it to Pan?
I mean, his messenger died, so
You didn't give it to Pan?
Pan is not in possession of it.
So Pan doesn't know that he needs to do this.
I mean, Pan can know.
And you think it'd be a good idea to send that message over monitored airwaves?
You. Look, I know that you're all fist punchy, and that's great for you. Awesome. But here in the real world, magic is real.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm not stupid.
Sonny, you don't have to be so blunt.
What?
Pitch did not give you a message in a bottle just because. The Imperium's listening.
He said we learned that.
Did we learn that?
Remember the dead guy? The zombie? The little beef jerky dude?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the kind of thing that you don't want them to pick up, because they're going to prepare against it if they do.
Well, they don't know where we are now, and who knows? They could not have heard it.
Well, I mean,
we haven't told him yet, so.
so Jet is like genuinely a little flabbergasted. So your friend, you got the log pose in exchange for the message. Did you run into Pan?
No.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh shit! Can I?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, I was
There ain't nothing you can do. There ain't nothing you can do, Harlow.
Guidance.
Sure. Got
Okay.
guidance.
Oh,
Plus
God.
a D4.
Uh,
11.
11.
11.
Oh shit.
Okay. So I not even sure how to. You know, he's a pretty nice guy most of the time, but you can't make a deal with someone and then just not follow through, especially when they're one of the crowns.
Well, no.
If I'm going to be on your crew, we gotta, not make stupid decisions.
It's not. Now, look. Wait. Wait. Hear me out. I didn't make a deal with him. Technically, Monty, God rest his soul, made the deal.
You know, you're right. So, I mean,
Oh, that's right. I forgot the part where pirates are really into the technicalities of deals and tend to be really forgiving when their requests go unheeded. You know what, guys? You're right.
I know I am.
really?
No.
No, he's full of shit, Harlow.
Look, I'm really beat up right now, and it's it hurts to walk.
I'm gonna lay down for a moment, just to
All
process.
right, you've been walking for a
Like,
while.
just
Let's-
like right here.
Where else? I mean, there's a nice patch of moss over there. I'm gonna post up on that for a while.
Anything else, Sonny, that you want to do during the week? And I guess this question also extends to Harlow, outside of talking to Jed.
Trying to recruit Jet. I think at least every other day, Sunny's still trying to get in touch with his parents, hoping for a response. Always just kind of like, hey, just checking in. Haven't heard anything in a while. Hope you're okay.
Question: What information? Just tell me how do the messages go? Give me one example.
All right, hang on. I have to count words. Hey, just checking in again. Haven't heard anything in a bit. Getting a little worried. Things are kind of weird here. Please respond. And then that's it.
Yeah. And each time you do feel the message go through and reach its intended target, it's not a failed message. There is just no response any occasion that you send this.
Okay.
Pick me up, I'm scared.
I think Sunny's anxiety just kind of spikes first thing in the morning when he sends these messages, and then it's just kind of like riding that high all day.
The week passes by for the 8 of you in the manner that you've described. It's probably the longest stretch of, stress-free downtime that you as a character have had the chance to experience. It's a beautiful space. There's plenty of things to do, and just also no real obligations up here. You can go at your own pace and just enjoy nature as it is. At the end of the week, different Cetarians from the original Skywhale, the original All-Mother clan that initially brought you to the various places on the island, go to where each of you are and begin gathering you up in the kind of main square, so to speak, of the island, the same general area where the duel took place. So the 8 of you now see each other for the first time, and the Cetarians carefully unbind the ribbons on all 8 of you. Marini.
Mhm.
You see walking alongside Harlow and Sunny.
Oh, it's about time.
Marini?
Hello?
Hello, it cut out.
Oh, you cut out,
Hello?
Ruben.
No, I stopped. I was leaving. That was a dot.
Oh.
Look,
Look, the way
like,
Discord
I was
is,
like,
the way
what?
Discord is, I think we all just assumed you stopped talking.
Yeah.
Like, cut out.
Let me do that again. Marini, you see accompanying Harlow and Sunny. Dot.
My cousin. Marini
You,
staggers and sort of falls to the floor and seeing him again.
Holy shit.
he's not. Go ahead.
Oh, I think he sees Marini collapse, and having spent a week with her, like,
Yeah, right?
she was always tough, so he's just like, "You all right, lass? What's going on?"
It's Josiah.
He doesn't initially. He's not paying attention to you initially, and then he turns to see
shit.
the larger group. And there's like that moment of like, wait a second, I know you.
Oh, no.
And then the next moment, it's the realization. Of course, he knows you.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I tortured your cousin as a
She's gonna
child.
kick the shit out of you.
Oh god.
My cousin might kill me.
You're gonna
He runs over to you.
Marini
And-
like quickly gets up and like it's like a not a rough hug, but like a strong gripping hug.
Yeah. No, and y'all have always seen Jet as this, edgelord little brawler. You've never seen him this sort of emotional. You've never seen him cry. But he is full on sobbing as he is hugging Marini as tight as he possibly can. Because he thought you were dead.
And I thought the same.
After a sort of brief moment of the two of you just being able to be in that happy moment in time, he's wiping his eyes. He now more than ever looks like the younger brother that he always has been. You have never seen him in this way. He's wearing this very strange mechanical suit of some kind that is glowing with each breath. His wings are black and charred. You've never seen a Cetarian with any discoloration in their wings except for more elderly Cetarians who have a slight glow to the color, but certainly never a burnt coloration. And the scars on his face too.
It doesn't matter, it's still him. That's still Baby Bird.
You're part of them?
Yeah, and if the rumors I hear are true, you are too. some pitch black pirates that I've heard of.
Yeah, he's now, again, you've never seen him, well, you've seen him like this, but you've never seen him bashful before, shy. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, and Pitch was the one who helped save me.
I think Mariny's still like holding on. She is not gonna let go. It's just obsessive, like petting his hair, preening, like not going to let go of baby.
What is everyone else's reaction?
Harlow is being very quiet.
Frey is outright sobbing.
I look at that and I'm touched by it, but then I look at Harlow and then I look at Sonny, and I say to Sonny, "You little rascal, what the hell? Why didn't you ever tell us you're right?"
Oh,
Yeah, right?
magic's expensive.
I thought
I thought you were in constant communication with them. You were leading the way.
What? Why would I be in constant communication with them?
You told me you can do that.
Hey, wait, I thought you were jumping off cliffs and dying and fighting and then
Oh no, that was just those two.
What?
Do you not sleep?
Like,
Do you
what
not get your
happened?
spell power back?
Hey, you want to talk to him so bad? Why don't you learn how to do it?
You guys got to fight? All we did is walk around and fish and shit. I mean, it was really pretty, but